Hello friends, and welcome to another video. First off, before I get into the vintage thrift haul, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who commented on my video on Wednesday and all of your support for what happened with Percy. I really appreciate it. As of today, he's been on the medication for 24 hours and he's doing pretty good. Now, one of the minor side effects of this medication is it said it may cause drowsiness, and I kind of feel like maybe that's affecting him in that way. He seems a bit more subdued than he used to be, which is not a bad thing. I'm glad he's more subdued. I just wish it wasn't, he's over there playing with a toy, because he has epilepsy. But anyway, the vet didn't say this, but this is just what we're thinking, is that maybe once his body gets used to the medication and it's been in his system for a while, that any of the drowsiness will subside. But as you can see, he's getting into mischief and killing his toy. So it hasn't changed him a whole lot. He's just a little tiny bit more subdued, which we'll take it. What?
It doesn't say a whole lot.
No, that doesn't say a whole lot. But as crazy and rambunctious and how much he got into trouble before, even just a tiny bit more subdued is a welcome. But anyway, he's doing really good, and thank you all so much for all of your kind comments and sharing of your stories of animals that you have or know of that went through the same thing as he's going through. So anyway, let's go ahead and get on with this haul. It's quite a large haul. This was quite a different type of thrifting event, you might want to say. I actually went to two different thrift stores 3 days in a row. On Monday, Olivia has a short day at school, and Percy, you're making it hard to do a video. She has a short day at school, so when she got off school, we went to town, went to Walmart, and we went to Salvation Army because I had a donation to make, and we just ran in real quick to see what they had. They had very little. Their shelves were very bare. And then we went over to Twice Treasured 2 because she wanted a Burger King. She wanted a burger from Burger King, and Twice Treasured 2 is right in the same vicinity. So we went to those two thrift stores on Monday. So let me show you what we picked up on Monday. So at Salvation Army, like I said, there was not much, but Olivia found this video, The Last Mimsy. Videos were kind of expensive, $3.99. I thought that was quite, kind of much, but she had seen this video when she was a child. We had borrowed it from my sister, and she said it's like a core memory of hers watching this movie when she was a kid, and so she wanted to watch it again as an adult and see what she thought of it. So I remember a little bit about it. I thought it was kind of an odd movie, but not bad, but just strange. But anyway, so we picked that up for Olivia. And then I saw this. It was $4.99. And I think it's a hobbyist piece. Well, no, it's not. It says made in Taiwan on the bottom. So it's not a hobbyist piece, but I just liked the finish on it. And of course I loved it because it is a dachshund. And anyway, if you ever see a white dachshund in real life, that's not a good thing. There's a lot of genetic problems with all white dachshunds. So anyway, but in porcelain form, it's quite cute. So I picked that up. And then the last thing I picked up from Salvation Army was a Christmas tree ornament. It was $3.99, and it's a Santa. I don't think I have one like this. I think I have one that's similar, but it's not exactly like this. So of course I will save this for next year, or this year technically, but Christmas time, to put on my Santa tree. So that was everything we picked up from Salvation Army. Then, like I said, we went over to Twice Treasured 2. So I went into this thrifting trip with specific things in mind that I was looking for. I wanted to find little miniature things to fit on my printer's tray. And then I wanted some like pipberry stuff. There were some other things that were kind of on my list. I didn't find everything that was on my list, but at Twice Treasured 2, I did find, and I don't know for sure if this will fit on my printer's tray. I will have to check. If it doesn't, then I can put it on another one of my little shelves that I have. But I just thought this was so pretty. This little bisque porcelain vase with the yellow rose on it. There's no markings or anything on the bottom, so I don't know if it's old or not. And I paid $5.50 for it, which might be a little bit much, but I really liked it. And then I found some pipberries. There's one booth there in particular that always has really pretty pipberries and pipberry wreaths and things like that, and they're quite reasonable priced because pipberry stuff is expensive. So I found this little pick. I'm going to take it apart and use it, and I'll show you at the end of this video. I'll try to style things, and so you can see what I do with it. Well, Percy's back to his own rambunctious. He's chewing on that blanket.
He needs his egg.
What?
He needs that egg.
He needs his egg? Oh, it's clear over there. Let me get Percy's egg. So now I have to listen to Percy's rattly noise with his egg, but that's okay. So anyway, I got this little, it looked very springish and summery-ish to me, and I paid $3.95 for it, which I thought was a really good price. And then out of that same booth, I got this wreath, and I'm pretty sure I know exactly where I'm going to put it. And I was going to interweave these pipberries in it to make it a little fuller. And this wreath was $10.95. And then the last thing I got from Twice Treasured 2, I was at the checkout, and there was a booth like right there that you could see, and they had all kinds of amber glass. And it had a sign that said 30% off. And so I went and I looked at all the amber glass, but I didn't see any that I really liked, or there were some like really big pieces, and I don't want anything super big. But when I was standing at the checkout, I just happened to glance over there, and I saw a piece that I hadn't seen when I was actually looking at it. It's funny how your eye will miss things. And so when I saw it, I'm like, oh wait, I want that picture. And so I got this amber glass pitcher. It's a really pretty size. It was probably like a water pitcher, I would imagine. And it was normally priced, what was the normal? Oh, $16 was its regular price. But then, like I said, it was 30% off, so I got it for $11.20. So that's what we did on Monday. On Tuesday, Olivia had her long day at school, where she goes early in the morning, doesn't get off till later in the afternoon. So that day I went to Kroger and Aldi. And I had some time to kill between the time I dropped her off to school and when my Kroger order, that is really loud.
Give him the lizard.
The what?
Lizard.
All right, interruption number 2. I gave him a different toy. That egg was just too noisy. Anyway, I had some time to kill between the time I dropped Olivia off at school and it was time to pick up my Kroger order. And so there's another thrift store vendor mall in that area called Emily and Ivy. I've talked about them before, I've been to them before. And so I went into Emily and Ivy and I found quite a few things in there. So let me show you what I picked up from Emily and Ivy. So like I've explained to you before, Emily and Ivy, they don't give you a receipt, especially if you pay with cash. And even if you pay with a card, it's not a receipt with like itemized receipt, it's just a receipt. So what I do is I take a picture of the item with the price on it, so because I'm not going to be able to remember how much I paid for this stuff. So I will insert pictures with the price as I talk about the items. Now there were 3 items here that they had the price written on in Sharpie marker on the bottom side, so I can tell you that. I'll start with those 3 items. Now the first item was this, and everything is so dirty. I'm gonna have to clean everything up really, really good. I think it's gonna really brighten this stuff up. But it's this little porcelain figurine of this little boy. And the reason why I loved it is, well, first of all, I love the colors on it. And I just thought it looked super sweet. Had a sweet little face. See his sweet little face? But it on the bottom, it says made in occupied Japan. So that is a clue that this is quite old, very vintage. A lot of times you'll get stuff that say made in Japan, but made in occupied Japan is right around the World War II prior era. And so, yeah, so this is the first piece of occupied Japan porcelain that I owned, and I really, really liked him. I thought he was super cute, and he was only $4. And then that same booth, they had quite a few pieces of occupied Japan porcelain. And I just picked out my 2 favorites. This one was $6, and you can see on there a little bit better where it says made in occupied Japan. But this is a little boy and a little girl. And I just thought their faces were so cute. So I've got these 3 little pieces. I like this guy's little red snowshoes or something he's wearing. I'm not sure what those are. But anyway, or maybe he's wearing his daddy's slippers and carrying his daddy's cane. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I just thought those were super adorable. And then the next item that had the price written on it was an old tin. I paid $8 for it, which is probably too much, but I just really liked it. I loved the color of it. I'd never seen this before, ever. It's called Prime New Dairy Product for Coffee. It's kind of like a powdered creamer. And what got me too is how small. Look how tiny this can is. Look how tiny that is. So it either means that back in the old days, people just didn't eat as much. I think is probably true. And maybe this was during the Depression. And so they had to, you had to do everything in smaller quantities. I don't know. I don't know what the date on this is. It doesn't say. It was, it just said it was made by M&R Dietetic Laboratories in Columbus, Ohio. So anyway, ingredients: a powdered formula of light cream, skim milk, calcium, and lactose. I'll read the other part of it. It says, real convenience, as convenient to you as your kitchen cupboard. No refrigeration needed. Keep tightly closed when not in use and store in a cool, dry place. Keep several cans handy on your pantry shelf. Real economy. This new Instant Prime goes twice as far as other dairy products for use in coffee. Instant Prime is made by a new patented process in easy-to-use soluble form, a perfect partner for that perfect cup of coffee. Directions: use a dry spoon, sprinkle 1 teaspoonful Instant Prime on the surface of your hot cup of coffee. Use more or less Prime according to taste. Prime dissolves instantly. Stir to blend when Prime disappears from surface of the coffee. So I just thought that was super interesting. And you know how much I love vintage, authentic cans, I especially love like kitchen products and beauty products, medications and stuff like that. I find super interesting. All right, so the rest of these items, I will put a picture of the price as I talk about it because I don't remember how much I paid. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I got one more that's got the price on the bottom. You know how I collect laying down deer? And this one I probably overpaid for as well. It was $6, and it's definitely vintage. It's made out of some kind of really hard plastic, but I just really liked it. It was super cute and definitely vintage, and It's a small size and it'll look really cute on my shelf with the rest of my lying down deer. All right, now the rest of these items I don't have the prices marked on. This is a cute little lamb. They said it's a thimble on the description tag. It said it was a thimble, but I thought this also would look really cute on my printer's tray. And if it doesn't, I kind of collect little lambs, little lamb figurines, and this might go with my other lambs. But I thought that was adorable. And if I remember right, it wasn't very expensive. Here's another tiny little object. I don't know, it said it was blue Delft. This one is filthy. This is very, very filthy. I think it's gonna be so much prettier once I clean it up. But here's another tiny little piece of pottery. I think the tag said it was Delft. I have no clue what it would have been used for. Maybe a toothpick holder, maybe a pin holder. I don't know, but I thought this would look cute sitting on my printer's tray. This next item was a really good deal. Like I said, you'll see the price, but I don't remember how much I paid for it. It was a set of 4 salt cellars. Aren't those cute? Cute little salt cellars. But the thing that got me was not only was it the set of 4, but it came with 4 tiny little spoons that you would use so you wouldn't have to put your hand in the salt. I just thought that was so adorable. I might pull these out at a holiday and use them on my holiday table. Then my family can really make fun of me because we'll have butter pats and salt cellars and maybe even a bone dish. Olivia's giving me a look.
So long as you don't use wooden forks.
I don't know if you heard what she said. She said, just so long as you don't use wooden forks. Oh, see what I have to put up with. But anyway, it came with not just 1 spoon, but it came with 4 little spoons. So I thought that was a very good deal. And I saw a lot of salt cellars in the last few days, and they were wanting like $6 a piece for them, and they didn't come with the little spoons. So I got an excellent deal on this set of 4 with 4 spoons. All right, the next little item, I don't think I spent much for this, a couple of dollars, maybe $1, I don't remember. You'll know when I put the picture up. This little Cupid doll. I used to call Travis my little Cupid doll because he looked just like a Cupid doll when he was a baby. If I can find a picture, I don't know if I have any on my computer, of him as a baby, that when he looked like a Cupid doll. If I can find one, I'll insert it. But I just thought this was so cute. I already have 2 little Cupid dolls, so I'm just gonna add this to my little Cupid doll collection. It was so cute. The next item was this. I have a collection of these little angels that are made out of, what is it made out of? Chalkware. They're these little chalkware angels. This says Ardco Fine Quality, Dallas, made in Japan. Now it doesn't say made in occupied Japan, so it's not quite as old as my other figurines, but, or maybe it's older, I don't know. But anyway, this will go right along with my other, I think two or three of these chalkware angels that I have and I put out at Christmas time. This is a short one, it's a small one. The others I have one that's quite tall. I have them like in different sizes, and this is the shortest one. Now it's got just a tiny bit of damage on the top, but that doesn't matter to me. I mean, this thing is really old. It's amazing that it's even still surviving. So anyway, picked that up. 2 more items. This I picked up also to hopefully fit on my printer's tray. It's got tape on it. I'll have to get it off. Maybe I can get it off now. Well, I got some of it off. But anyway, it was where the price tag was attached. It's an old pill bottle. Doan's Pills for relief of backache. I liked it because it was small, and I liked it because it was green. I love this color. And It says, for relief of backache, headache, muscular aches, and pains due to factors such as overexertion, stress and strain, emotional upsets. Directions: before each meal and at bedtime, take 4 pills, wow, with a glass of water, to be taken by adults only. So anyway, I like that little pill bottle. And then the last thing I got, I have all these like mini collections. It's like I don't start out trying to collect these things, but then it just kind of happens. So when I keep saying, oh, my collection of this and my collection of that, it just means I have more than one of them basically, or maybe more than 2. So I consider it a collection. But I do have a collection of cowbells and vintage cowbells, and I really liked this one. I don't like the huge ones that you would like actually put on a cow, but I like the smaller ones. I don't know what this would have been used for, maybe to call people in for dinner, or, you know, in schools or something maybe, I don't know. But it was a good price. A lot of times these cowbells are kind of pricey for what they are. So I found this, and I will add this to the shelf where I have my cowbell collection. All right, that is everything I picked up from Emily and Ivy. And so then we come to today, which is Wednesday. I had my massage appointment this morning, and after my massage appointment, I went over to Twice Treasured. It's right across the street from my massage therapist. And so I went over there. I had a little bit of time to kill before coming back to pick up Olivia from school. And so I went in and I found a few things. So let me show you what I picked up from Twice Treasured 2. No, not Twice Treasured 2, Twice Treasured. Olivia has a tiny little shelf, it's not a printer's tray, but it's a little shelf with little tiny compartments in it. It used to be my shelf and I gave it to her. And so she's been wanting to put little things in it. And so I asked her, like, what kind of things are you looking for so that I can keep an eye out when I'm out shopping, because she can't always go with me. And she's like, just small things that look vintage or are vintage and that are metal. And so on all this trips so far, I hadn't had any luck finding anything like that for her. But at Twice Treasured, I found 2 things, possibly 3 things that she can use on her little shelf. So the first thing I found for her, it's perfect for her. She loves teddy bears, and it's actually a pin, but I think it'll work perfectly on her shelf because it's a little jointed bear, and she can, you know, put its legs out and have it sitting on the shelf in one of the little spaces on the shelf. I just thought that was so adorable. So adorable. And it was $4.50. So cute. The second thing I got for her was this, and this is one I'm not sure that she can actually, let me get it out of the packaging, put it on the shelf, or she said she might be able to have it on the shelf, but it's this little pin. It's of roses, a bouquet of roses. Let me take it out of this packaging there so you can see it better. For those of you who don't know, Olivia's middle name is Rose, and so she kind of is attracted to rose things. And when I saw this, I thought she would really like it, and it was only $1.60. It was normally $2, but everything in that booth was 20% off. And then the last thing I picked up for her, which was the most expensive thing I bought for her today, was this vintage padlock. It's little, it's tiny. Hopefully it'll fit on her little shelf. If not, it'll probably fit on the very top of it. It didn't come with the key, but it's kind of quirky, and I don't know. I just thought it was something she'd really like. And it was $6. So those are the items I specifically picked up for Olivia. Now this next item I had seen there several times, the last few times that I had gone to Twice Treasured, and I looked at it and I thought, boy, Olivia would really like that, but she doesn't have a whole lot of space in her room. And then I thought, but I really like it too. And so I decided before I knew I was going to the store today, that if this item was still there, I was going to pick it up for me. And I was right, Olivia does like it. And I said, I knew you would like it, but I bought it for me. And you know what that little snot said? She said, that's okay, I'll get it someday. I'm like, oh, wow. But anyway, she's so silly. This is what it is. I have several of these little vignettes made by the same artist and made on driftwood and things like that. This one is made out of a vintage book. She said it crushed her heart a little bit to see that they used a book like this, but it was a beginner's American history, so it was just a textbook for a school, and it looks like she paid like 50 cents for it or 60 cents for the book. So, I mean, at least it wasn't a classic or something like that. And I paid $10 for it. And the other thing about it that I thought Olivia would love is that there's an Alice in Wonderland quote on it, and she loves Alice in Wonderland. It says, if everybody minded their own business, the world would go around a great deal faster than it does. The Duchess from Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. So anyway, I just thought this was so cool. It's a little bit quirky, I don't know, but I think what attracts me to this artist, and I'm going to call her an artist, because this is a lot of work and takes a lot of creativity, and I do believe this is pieces of art. But what attracts me to it is that it's miniatures, and I love miniatures. And I don't know, I just really, really love it, and I just love the creativity. So when I get this styled, I'll show you my other pieces that I got from this same vendor. But anyway, this was the most expensive thing I bought in my whole shopping trip, except maybe I think the amber glass pitcher was $1 more. But anyway, I love that. I was so glad when it was still there. I think this artist and this type of art is something that you either love or you hate, and I love it. I really do. At first I was a little iffy on it. I was like, the first time I ever saw this person's booth and saw their art, because some of the stuff she does is really far out there and strange, but and so I'm not so much into that. But these other like miniature vignette village pieces, I just love them. I just love them, and the more I collect of them, the more I love them. So anyway. All right, the next thing I picked up was this little brass teapot. I just loved it. It's dirty. I'm gonna have to clean it. I'm not gonna polish it because I do like the patina on it. But this tiny little brass teapot, so cute. It looks so cute sitting on a shelf. And it was only $2.50. I got this I buy something from this particular vendor almost every time because she has a lot of small things. She has a lot of vintage things, and her prices are just so good in this particular booth. So the next thing I picked up, it was only $2.50. It's actually an Avon bottle, and it sounds like it still has liquid in it, but I picked it up because it's a sheep or a little lamb. Like I said, I collect little lamb figurines, so this will go up with my collection. And like I said, I think I said it was only $2.50. It makes me wonder if my grandmother had one of these because she collected Avon bottles. I only have 2 items left. So this next piece, I'll save one of my cutest things till last. But so the next piece I picked up was this. It's actually the first thing I put in my cart. And it's one of those clamping jars, which I love. Only thing that would have made this better was if it had been blue glass, but it's a cheese shaker, and I just love it. I'm not going to use it for that, but I just love it. I'll set it somewhere with the rest of my vintage mason jars. And how much did I pay for this? It was not much. Let me see. Oh, $2. It was only $2. Okay, and then the last item, I can't say that it's my favorite item. There's so many of these things that I loved. It's going to be hard for me to choose my top 3, but these little kissing mice. Are they not the most adorable thing ever? These, it just says made in Taiwan on the bottom, so I don't have any idea what brand or how old or any of that, but I absolutely loved it. And everything in this person's booth was 50% off. So these mice were normally $7, and so I got them for $3.50. All right, so that is everything that I picked up over the last 3 days. I'm going to get these things cleaned up and get them styled. I probably won't get them all styled today, but you will see them all in this video. I'm starting to lose my voice because I've been talking so much. So anyway, stay tuned and see how I styled these pieces. All right, it is the next morning. I spent last evening and a little bit of this morning getting things placed. I had to wash everything really good, of course. So let's start over here with this little Cupid doll. And I don't think I had a picture of him with his price because when I was cleaning him up, I realized they had written the price on the bottom of his hand. And I washed it pretty good, so it's pretty much off there. But it was $3, so I paid $3 for him. So you can see my little tiny Cupid doll collection. And then over here, I put 2 of the little salt cellars with the little spoons. Over here is where I put that mixed medium artwork book. I've got so many shadows. I'm so sorry. I can't do anything about it. Let me see if I turn the light off, it'll be too dark in here. I'm sorry, you just have to deal with the shadows. But you can see I have it elevated on a couple of other books. I thought that was appropriate. And then these are the other pieces that I bought from that same artist. I even bought that little thimble with the house. Now the thimbles with the trees I got in a different booth, but I thought it looked appropriate with that thimble, little miniature thimble with the little miniature house. Even though they're pine trees, aka Christmas trees, I don't think they look extremely Christmassy. So I'm just gonna deal with that. I may end up replacing that tree. I've got other miniature trees that are not flocked so that it can stay out all year round. But anyway, this is how I've got this whole little village set up. I don't think I have room on here for any more of her creations. But of course, if I find something I really love, I'll just have to find space or move this collection somewhere else. But anyway, that's where I put the book. I put the little brass teapot over here on my Hoosier cabinet just for now. I like it there, it looks cute, but that's kind of just going to be where it's going to be stored until I use it in different vignettes, because I'm sure I will tuck it in different vignettes throughout the year. But just to have it, you know, in storage, quote unquote, but out where I can actually see it, that is where I have placed it. And I've got it next to this little pewter pitcher and the little vintage spoon. Over here is where I put that wreath that I got from Twice Treasured 2, and I just took those pip berries and separated them. There were 5 separate stems in that little bundle, and I just interwove them in it to make this wreath fuller, and I have it here around my vintage chicken cookie jar. Up here on these shelves is where I stuck the other 2 little salt cellars with their spoons. I love the way the light from this lamp reflects off of them. Over here in my corner hutch is where I have my amber glass collection. I don't have a whole lot of it, as you can see, but I wanted to keep it all in one place. I think it makes a bigger impact. And you can see that I did get a little light that fit inside my fairy lamp. The only thing I don't like about it being on this bottom shelf is that it doesn't catch the light very well and it's very dark. But anyway, this is where I put the pitcher, and I just stuck some fake flowers in there. The one thing I was considering doing is moving my amber glass up to the top shelf, because that's where the actual light is for the hutch. You know, these lighted hutches, they have a light at the top, and then they have glass shelves, and theoretically the light is supposed to filter through the glass shelves, but in reality that only works if you don't put anything in your cabinet. Whoever designed it was not thinking about that, you know, thinking that way. This is used to store things, and if you put things on the shelf, then the light's not going to be able to filter through, and then you get this situation where the very bottom shelf is quite dark. And even though I have a couple of sources of light in there, it's still too dark for me. So I'm really seriously thinking about swapping it, putting these things on the bottom shelf and putting the amber glass on the top shelf. I was gonna try it last night, but to be quite honest, I was too pooped. By the time I thought of that idea, it was like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that at 10 o'clock. So I might do it in a video, or I might just do it and show you later, especially if it works out and I like it. But anyway, for the time being, that's where I have that amber glass pitcher. So I did it today. I moved the amber glass to the top shelf. I moved everything that was on the top shelf to the bottom shelf, and I do like it a lot better. I love it that the light shines through that glass. It makes it so pretty. Glad I spent the time doing it. It only took me about a half hour. It wasn't that big of a deal. But anyway, I did that, and it looks great. Right there is the cowbell that I just got, and I didn't realize until I was placing it that I have one exactly like it, only the one I had, this is my other one, the original one I had. It's darker, it's a darker color. It's got a little bit more rust on it, but I found that interesting when I was putting it up there. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, it's exactly like my other one, but that's okay. This is another one of those collections that I have that if it grows any bigger, I'm gonna have to find a different spot for it because I am running out of room. I could probably fit one or two more little bitty ones, but these little tiny ones are very hard to find. I don't run into these often at all. I find bigger ones, but I don't want bigger ones because I don't have space for it. So anyway, that's where the cowbell landed. Over here is where I put the kissing mice. I think they're so adorable. I wanted them somewhere that I could look at them when I'm sitting in on the couch in my spot, and I can see them sit there, and it fills that little spot. I always felt like there was something, you know, that spot was empty and needing something. So that's where I stuck the little kissing mice. They're so adorable. Now over here on my hutch, I ended up putting several of the items that I got, and I spent quite a bit of time messing around with this last night, moving things here and there and changing things around. But I really, really wanted to be able to look at those Occupied Japan figurines. Look how pretty they turned out when he cleaned them up. I know it's dark over here. Let me see if I can get a little bit more light. All right, that's a little bit better. The lighting is weird. Almost looks kind of foggy. I don't know. Let me try something else. Hold on. There. What I really needed to do was clean the lens on my camera. Much better. So anyway, that's where I put the Occupied Japan porcelain figurines. I think they are so adorable. This particular vendor over at Emily and Ivy had a few more pieces, and I'm thinking the next time I'm in town, if I have time, I'm gonna run in and see if the vendor still has them because I really like them a lot. This might be something else I start collecting. Just what I need, something more to collect. Oh my goodness. So anyway, that's where I put those little figurines. And up here is where I put that Prem can. I just used it as a riser, and I really liked it because the yellow of the can goes with the yellow of my hutch, obviously. And over back down to here, I took one of these plates I had thrifted those quite a while ago, and I actually used them. I have several of them. I think I have 8 of them. And I put that plate as a backdrop because I thought it brought some light into the little vignette, and it also emphasized the colors that are in the little children's clothes. So that's what that plate is all about. I had a hard time trying to figure out where I was going to put this dachshund figurine. I'm sorry about the noise. I should have thought about this when I bought that toy, but he's having so much fun. I know that rattling is annoying, so I'll try to be quick. But anyway, I had a hard time figuring out where I wanted to put this dachshund figurine because it's large. It's on the larger side, and I just don't have a whole lot of space in my house for larger things. And so on a whim, I just set it here on my coffee table in front of my little other little vignette here, and I thought, oh, I really like that. It brings some light. It lightens up the coffee table. It's not in the way. It'll be safe from getting knocked over or anything like that and broken. So that's where the little dachshund landed, and I really like it. This little miniature vase would not fit on my printer's tray, so I just put it over here on this little shelf that I have, where I have all my little miniature oil lamps and my miniature pictures and my miniature owls. On top of my corner hutch is my little lamb collection. I've got that one. I've got a little lamb plate, a little girl holding a lamb. There's the new lamb that I just got. That's the Avon bottle. And I've got these 2 little lambs there that I've thrifted. Back behind them is a lamb I got at Joann Fabrics. And then I got that lamb at Joann Fabrics. Well, there's my little lamb collection. Here's my printer's tray, and that pill container fit in there. The lamb on the bucket fit in there. And over here's the blue Delft, whatever that little gadget is. That cleaned up really nice too. I don't know if you can tell, but it's way cleaner than it was. It was horrible before. Sticky, it has something sticky on it. Yuck. And that's everywhere I placed my items. My lying down deer is downstairs and with my lying down deer collection. The only thing I couldn't really find a spot for yet is the little miniature ball jar, but I'm sure I will come up with something. But let me really quickly show you where Olivia put her little things that she got, her little miniatures, on her shelf. All right, this is her little shelf that she has. This used to be mine and I gave it to her, but that's where she put the little padlock. And then that's where she put the little bear and the little pin. And I didn't realize she had another little flower pen already, which that made that work out perfect. And then she had another little bear, which I didn't know she had. So that worked out perfect as well. I thought I'd bring you back in here by my little village, or whatever you want to call this. I don't know what to call this art, this form of art. But anyway, I thought I'd bring you back in here now that I cleaned the lens on my camera to close out this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I know you enjoy my thrift hauls, and I know you enjoy seeing how I style my things in my home. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below letting me know which was your favorite item that I found in my haul this month. I don't know. I can't decide. I think for sure this book is one of my favorites, one of my top 3. These Occupy Japan figurines are definitely in my top 3. They're probably number 1. So I would say these are number 1. My book is number 2. And number 3 would have to be the kissing mice, because they're just so stinking cute. So anyway, that's my top 3. Let me know your favorite or your top 3. And we will see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye, friends.